With the nearly $800 million Dominion settlement with Fox and President Joe Biden's announcement for the 2024 re-election campaign, election integrity is probably on the minds of many. There's no denying that the election of 2020 will be highly debated for years to come. This issue is nothing new. Election fraud or ballot stuffing has been around for centuries. Kurt Hyde, our election integrity expert, explains the history of ballot stuffing going all the way back to 63 BC. Links to this video will be in the video description. Some may even remember the stolen election of 1948, where Lyndon Johnson of Texas was elected to the Senate. There are headlines from Associated Press, the New York Times, etc., stating this fact. There was also election fraud in Washington State in 1975. The book, Don't Get Punched Out, explained how it was done using the computers which counted the votes. The information in this book was never refuted. Based on the evidence that was contained in this book, the John Birch Society came out with an official election integrity policy. Quite honestly, there is only one way that we can set the stage for fair and open elections. That is by changing the laws in every state to ensure that the process is open and above board. This process should begin now in your state if it hasn't already been done. So what are the steps of the process to ensure honest elections? Here is a very simple list. Paper ballots printed with features that ensure that no one can reproduce them on a copy machine, for example, a numbering system. One-day voting. Local precincts where people vote and the ballots counted with eyes on the count by all parties concerned. The tally is then also posted at the precinct. Clean up registration lists 2 months prior to election. Citizens need proper ID, verifying citizenship. No drop boxes. No ballot harvesting where people travel around collecting ballots to turn into the polls, like from rest homes and such. No government employees working the polls. Punish the guilty of fraud severely. These are the minimum requirements. Burn them into your mind so that you are conversant about them and can talk to anyone about them. You must make sure that your state legislators understand the need for them and adopt them in their minds prior to the legislative session. Every state needs to commit to making their laws conform to these minimum standards. Then follow up to make sure that they keep their commitment. They will be under tremendous pressure to adopt or keep laws which use computers, extend the time of voting, and other ideas that are done in the name of voter inclusion. Unfortunately, this is fraught with the possibilities of fraud. Organize now in your chapters to get to the candidates for election or re-election to your legislature. Do not assume party preference or other influences will bar you from influencing the men and women running for office. After all, an honest person wants an honest election. It may be too late in some states to change the laws before the next election, but now is the time to influence the changes in the laws to affect the 2026 elections. Another thing that you can do is to volunteer to work at your local precinct. The more honest people manning the polls, the less likely of fraud to occur. Get in front of this issue. For more information, visit our Restore Election Integrity Action Project at jbs.org. The time to start is now, not when the legislature meets, although your activity must continue during the session to ensure the members keep their promises.